lesson curl. Age 8, I got a Jerry curl. 13 and I got a relaxer. I was a source of so much laughter. At 15 when it all broke off. 18 and I went on natural. February 2002, I went on and did what I had to do. Because it was time to change my life, to become the woman that I am inside. 97 dreadlocks all gone. I looked in the mirror for the first time and saw that, hey, I am not my head. I am not your skin. I am not your expectations, no.
Welcome back to another episode of the Kinky Care Culture and everything else in between. Yes, I said it, the Kinky Care Culture and everything else in between. I'm your host, Candy. But before I get started, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who takes the time out to listen to our podcast. We are truly, truly grateful. Also, I hope everyone had a wonderful week. I know my week was wonderful because every day God allows me to wake up and continue my purpose. I am truly blessed. I want to go ahead and get into today's topic. And today's topic is wear your crown. And I know you're probably wondering, where did she get that topic from? I got it from this amazing woman named Miss Adisha. And Miss Adisha, she's a phenomenal woman. She sings, she writes, she's a comedian. She has her own clothing line. The list goes on. The list goes on. And in this episode, we're going to break it down to you. From her relaxed days to the big chop, to her parents being musicians, to her clothing line. You have to listen. Listen in, hon. I can't tell you everything, because if I tell you everything, you won't be able to listen. So, sit back, relax, listen to this podcast. I hope you enjoy. God bless, and enjoy.
My name is Adisha. I was born in San Fran, raised in Oakland. My folks are from the South. My mom is from New Orleans. My dad is from Chicago by way of Mississippi. I grew up in the Bay Area, and at the time I grew up, we were encouraged to wear our natural hair. And so, part of my branding as an artist these days is all about wearing your natural hair, being you, embracing yourself. And so, I didn't say that part. I'm also a singer. That's actually the main thing that I am. But I wanted to talk about that brand because I feel like that informs my singing, why I sing what I sing, and basically the essence of who I am as an artist.
Okay. So I'm glad you started with your singing. Okay. Can you tell us what inspired you to sing? Like, who were some of your people that influenced you to sing? Was it family members? Was it famous people?
Yeah. So my mom is actually a vocalist. My dad is a vocalist and a guitarist. My mom sang background for Tom Jones. You know who Tom Jones is?
Oh, no. But
so he's like, he sings that song, it's not unusual to be
I feel so ashamed of saying that. I didn't know. That's my song. I love that song. Wow.
Yep. So she sang background for him. And then my dad played guitar for the Neville Brothers for a little bit.
Okay.
You know the Neville Brothers, right?
Yes. Look, yes.
Yep.
For those who don't know who they are, please tell them who they are.
Aaron Neville, everybody plays a fool sometimes. That song. So, my dad did that for a little bit. There's music in my family. My parents always had music going on in the background. Stevie Wonder, whom I love. Donny Hathaway, Layla Hathaway, Whitney Houston.
Yes.
And Barbra Streisand. The girl. I know about Barbara, okay? Yes, my mom and Yentl and, Barbra Streisand basically sang on that. And also, gosh, he's on the edge of my tongue. I can't think of his name right now. Barry Manilow.
Yes.
Love Barry Manilow. So, music was my upbringing. And I have to say my parents are my inspiration. Now, it's Erykah Badu, Jill Scott, and Musiq Soulchild, the whole neo-soul movement.
Okay. Have you ever thought about singing other than neo-soul, like, gospel or anything else? or that was just your
Definitely.
focus growing up? Like, this is what I want to sing.
Sure. So my start was actually in church. We grew up in church, Baptist church, and so inspirational music is the base of what I sing. And I consider myself a Christian who is very involved in church. And so I make music that's inspirational. And the choice to not have curse words or sexual innuendos is because of that. Because I'm inspired by my Christian walk to make sure that I have music that kids can listen to, that, anyone who's looking for inspiration can listen to, basically. And so it's kind of like my own form of gospel. Not everybody is ready to hear about God, but my hope is that in seeing about my life, maybe it'll inspire them to want to know more about God, And in addition to that, I've dabbled in rock music, and then did some jazz. Like my roots are jazz, basically.
Okay. Give us a little bit about your brand. Tell us about your brand.
Okay, this is exciting.
Yes, tell us. Guys, this is really exciting. What she's about to tell y'all, please listen in, okay? I'm telling you, she's dope. Don't sleep on her.
Thank you, Candy. I appreciate that. I have to give you a little backstory. As I said earlier, I grew up in the Bay Area, but I grew up in the 80s, 90s. Mm-hmm. And at the time, there was still a lot of discrimination against women who wore their natural hair.
Yes.
We grew up actually pinching our noses to make them look more European. And we were totally ignorant to what we were doing, but my mom had done it to us, and then, she was teaching me how to do it, and I didn't realize it was happening until I got older. Mm-hmm. And when I realized that basically we were pinching our noses because we were ashamed of our own nose, and we were straightening our hair because we were ashamed of our own hair, I got fed up and didn't want to do that anymore. And again, I had always sang in church, different venues, but when I was awakened to that in myself, I felt like I needed to change my image. So I did my big chop in 2002.
Okay.
And I cut all my hair off.
Let me ask you this question, okay? When you did the big chop, did you feel less than? Was you freaking out? How did it make you feel when you did it? Because most people, when they do the big chop, they be like, I'm ugly. This is not me. I need to put a wig on. I need to hide. How did it make you feel?
Free. Because I felt like the perm was attached to what people wanted me to be. Mm-hmm. It wasn't who I wanted to be. And I didn't even know what my natural hair looked like because I had been permanent since I was 7. Mm-hmm. So, I was like, I'm tired of this. And so I literally got the scissors and cut my hair almost close to my scalp. My mama panicked. Everybody panicked. But I felt free, and my music changed. And I started singing about who I was and my past. And it's so funny, too, because so much of the strands were attached to past stories that I hadn't even talked about, that I wasn't aware of, and I don't mean to get all personal and TMI, but sexual abuse past, neglect past, experiences in racism, and stuff that I basically stuffed. I felt like the straight ends were the lies. I know it sounds poetic, but truly, it felt like that was the lies. And once I cut my hair off, I was going to expose the truth. And the truth was in the roots. And so, the curls that came out, the truth was coming out. And so I sang about it in my songs. And I decided, in 2002, when I cut my hair off, that I was going to create original music. I really got into writing my own lyrics. And I was going to share my truth. And it was a platform for me to share my truth and to heal. So, to answer the question, it was freeing for me. I know not everybody feels that way. But yeah, that's how it felt for me. and going with the brand, my thought process was, you know what, I want to be a walking story. I want to be a walking image of the journey, and I want women that feel they have to wear their hair straight or feel they have to wear a wig because they're hiding the truth of who they are. I want to inspire them to be able to expose and to share the truth and to be proud of it. So that's my brand message. You're going to see in my pictures, I am wearing my afro, and I'm not
just about to talk about the afro too. As soon as you finish, I was about to pick you on the afro. But go ahead, tell them about the afro. By the way, guys, her afro is so stunning. Oh, it is so beautiful. But she's gonna tell you about it. I'm not. She is. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No worries. And if I'm going too long, just cut me off. I don't mind it. So.
You're fine. This is about you.
Yeah. So I mean, when I first started the Big Chop, one of the things I was obsessed with was curl pattern. Mm-hmm. And so I was looking for hair gels to basically define my hair.
And curl patterns, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When you first did the Big Chop and the curl pattern and stuff, did you freak out all the time about it, or you were just like, I'm just gonna, why is my hair not curling? Why is my hair not curling? Or do you was like, I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm just gonna let it be free.
I prayed on it before I cut it, honestly. I said, God, I don't know what I'm about to see, but I pray it's something I can deal with at least. Like, if it's something that's going to be hard for me to deal with, please, just spare me. But I hope it's something I can deal with. And I think even praying that prayer was because of a lack of education. So what I had grown up learning was, there's a good hair and there's bad hair. So essentially what I was asking for was, God, can you give me good hair? More or less. Just because I wasn't educated.
Or just asking God, let me be able to handle what I have and work with it to better.
Exactly. So, I mean, initially what I was doing was looking for, it came out curly. So I was like, okay, this is cool. Yeah. So I started using different gels, and I found my hair crack, we call it, within a few months, which is EcoStyle. So I started using EcoStyle. So I would do Pantene, because we didn't have, we had no products for natural black hair in 2002. And so I was trying to figure...
relaxers. That's all.
Basically. Totally. So I was using all these white gels to try to manipulate my curl, and it wasn't working. But EcoStyle was out at the time. Mm-hmm. So I found EcoStyle. So I would use Pantene conditioner, leave that conditioner in my hair, and put the EcoStyle gel in. So I was doing that for years, and felt I had to basically define my curls, have a curl pattern in order for it to be accepted. Now, of course, that was, again, influenced by people around me and feeling like you shouldn't have your hair be kinky. Oh, it's curly, it's acceptable, it's good hair, So eventually what wound up happening was, I had my first and only child in 2014, and I was too tired to always put EcoStyle gel in my hair. So I started seeing it, with the fro. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is cool, and I can rock this. And I had been working for an after-school program as well, and there were a lot of young girls there who were talking about, should I straighten my hair, should I wear it natural, because of what people around them were saying. So we didn't come to some conclusions then, because I had stopped working because I got pregnant. Mm-hmm. And after I had my baby, my thought process was, what do I want her to see? Who do I want her to see? Do I want her to grow up thinking that her hair needs to be straight in order for her to feel like she's beautiful? And, my child is beautiful, and her hair is beautiful just the way it is. And so I was like, I'm not going to feel like I need to manipulate it. If I put gel in it, okay, cool. But I'm not going to feel dependent on it. And I'm just going to let it be what it is. And so I started splitting the fro. And since the day that she was born until now, I have let my hair grow, and I've let it be a fro. And so she can have a point of reference, and be inspired to wear her natural hair, and not long after, I got back into after school, and I was wearing my fro, and I started seeing the little girls in the after school program come to school with an afro, like me. And I was like, okay, it's getting done.
Like, wow.
The job is getting done. Yep, definitely.
Wow. I'm glad you spoke on that, because most kids, they watch videos, they go on places like YouTube and all these other places, and they get frustrated themselves when they can't accomplish the styles that they see, or they hear people, but they hair straight, and like, I want my hair straight like that. I want my hair like this, and don't realize what comes out of their hair is beautiful enough. So I'm glad that you sit there and talk to the youth and let them know your hair is just fine the way it is.
Yeah, and then when you start learning about the stuff that we've been putting in our hair for years, like, I remember seeing that documentary that Chris, oh gosh, his name is blanking from me. It's not Chris Tucker. Oh, okay, anyway, it's called Good Hair.
Good Hair,
and,
yes. I know what you're talking about, yes.
Yes. And
from Chris
so I saw that.
Yeah.
Chris Rock, yeah. So when I saw that and saw that they put a soda can in the chemicals we used to do a perm, and it melted the soda can. And I was like, oh my, we're putting that on our hair? And then after that, they were talking about how, like, a lot of black women have fibroid tumors, and attributing the fact that we have fibroid tumors to the perms that we were putting in our hair, you know. And so I was like, man, we've been doing this since we were kids, and we didn't know. Exactly. We didn't have the knowledge. Our parents didn't realize, and it kind of makes you wonder if it's strategic. If somebody's trying to, you know, do something harmful to us, and, you know, all that aside, I just want my girls to know, you know, in the after-school programs, what they're doing. If they choose to do a perm, okay, fine, but at least know what it is. At least be educated so that you can make an informed decision, you know. So, yeah.
Okay, and you speak about the after-school program. What else do you do for the kids at the after-school program? What else do you teach them?
Yeah, so, you know, you know, actually, so I had been doing after school. I stopped doing that last year and went into consulting, and so now I teach the teachers how to engage, how to inspire the kids, but I stay involved with kids through different programs that I develop. I think we're going to talk about it later on, but I created a t-shirt called Wear Your Crown, and part of the mission in that, 20% of the proceeds go towards educating young black women about the beauty of wearing their natural hair. So, you know, I go in and my most important thing is to teach them life skills, to teach them responsible decision making, and also, you know, help them to dream for the future and have a roadmap and how to achieve their dreams. So, you know, when I was there at first, the kids kept hearing me sing, and they were like, why are you here? Like, why don't you go and, like, you should be in LA. You should be singing at Carnegie Hall. And, you know, I was like, man, I think what they're asking me to do is, instead of just teaching them and showing them what to do, to actually go do it, to have a point of reference. And I had this one moment where I was feeling discouraged because I didn't see my career taking off the way I had imagined. And I got a call from one of the girls who I had turned the program over to. And she said, hey, you know what, Adisha, I just want to tell you something that happened today. She said, I put on Spotify and your song came on. She said, one of the kids started staring at the TV. And he looked at me, he goes, Miss Adisha did what she said she was going to do. And she said, I was so proud of you. And I started crying my eyeballs out. I'm like, you know what, that's what it's all about. Inspiring our kids and giving them hope for the future. And that's all I wanted to see. That's why they kept telling me, go to LA. Go live the dream. Stop telling us what to do. We'll watch you. Just go do it, you know.
Yeah, kids watch us and everything we do. And it's important that, you know, even though we tell them, we got to practice what we preach.
Exactly.
We can't sit there and just be like, go do this, go do this, go do this, and don't do it ourselves, because then they're going to be like, well, you told me do this, and I don't see you doing nothing.
Exactly. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's important. That's even how I try to parent, I was going to say educate, but parent my daughter is to be an example. And she actually, I'm very involved in singing now. I perform with my brother, and also solo. And so she's there at a lot of the shows on the side, and so she starts doing her own little thing inside the house. And she can sing on key, she can harmonize, you know. So and she's 5, and she's already knowing how to do this at 5. So, you know, I think she's learning from what I'm doing, as opposed to just me sitting there trying to teach her what to do.
You say that you sing with your brother. How many siblings do you have? And then you sing with all of them, or just y'all two that y'all sing together? It's like a group?
So I have 4 other siblings. There's 5 of us total. 2 older and 2 younger. The 2 younger siblings are both musicians. Okay. So my sister sings, my brother sings, and I sing. There are times when all 3 of us will sing together. And there are times when it's just me and my brother, or there are times when it's my brother and my sister. We kind of rotate in and out. So, but for the last year and a half, I'd say my brother and I have been a duo, performing at various venues, pretty big venues out here, festivals out here, and it's been awesome. I mean, he MCs, so he's a dope rhymer, so he'll get on the mic and rhyme, and then I'll sing the chorus or the hooks, and it's a perfect balance. So it's not too much singing, not too much rhyming. You get the best of both worlds.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Besides LA,
sure.
Is there any other place that you actually went out and sung besides LA? Is there anywhere else around the world?
You know, no. I wish. I have goals to do that this year. We actually have some relationships that we've built in Poland that so I'm hoping to get out there. We have relationships in the UK that are eager to see us come out that way and sing, and then relationships in New York. So no, I haven't traveled outside of California and sang yet, but I'm very hopeful that that's going to be happening before the year ends. And even we're looking at possibly in the next couple of weeks performing in Texas as well.
Oh, okay. So you got like a whole list ready to perform everywhere. That's good.
Yep, I do.
Okay. Speaking about your T-shirts, can you give more in depth about the T-shirts, please?
Yeah, sure. So, as an artist, and this is for anyone that's listening that's an aspiring singer, songwriter, you are not going to make your money on streaming unless you are all that, meaning like you are out there. It's the big name artists that are making money on Spotify, on YouTube.
I'm going to stop you on that one. Say it one more time so they can understand this, please. One more time for them.
Yep, you got it. So a lot of singers and songwriters are looking to make their money off of Spotify, off of YouTube, off of basically streaming. Streaming is not going to get you the dollars that you need. So you have to be savvy. You have to be a business person. And the top ways of basically making a living as an entertainer is to do shows, so tour. So you're going to make money off of live shows. You're going to make money off of merchandise, and you're going to make money off of sync licensing. So if your music gets on a television show, that's like the best way that you can make money. So if you want to pursue a professional career, you need to chase those things. So I had that in my mind because I wanted to make my career full time. Because it's hard to work a day job, it's hard to be a wife, it's hard to be a mom, and hard to try to produce a career all at the same time.
So basically,
you have to be.
Basically, you got a vision board.
Yes, basically, yes. So you have to be savvy. So my vision for this year, actually it was 2019, was to perform, to have merchandise, and to get on sync licensing, so basically get my music in the television. So I got a merchandising deal with a local t-shirt company called 510 Brand, and we started coming up with ideas for the t-shirts that I was going to sell. So one of the t-shirts is A Better Way, and the next one I had to put some thought into, because I didn't want to just sell T-shirts with my name on it. I wanted it to have a purpose. And so I was thinking, what is one of my big things, what is something like a cause that I get behind? And it's natural hair. And so I said, you know what? I want to have a shirt that says, wear your crown. So it's a call to action. So women that are wearing the shirt are basically calling other women who are maybe not confident to wear their natural hair. It's basically calling them to be confident in wearing their natural hair. And that young girls who see it will be inspired to wear their natural hair. And so we came up with the imaging. So I basically did the graphic design for the shirt. I'm going to do the graphic design for all of my shirts. So I did the graphic design and, decided, hey, while I am trying to make a living off of my merchandise, I cannot not give back. So 20% of the proceeds, as I said before, go towards educating young Black women about wearing their natural hair. And funny enough, I have done a class before teaching how to manage your natural curly hair, the porosity types, the curl pattern types. And what I found was that it wasn't only Black girls who were in that class. It was also, I had Filipino girls. I had other race girls who actually had experienced discrimination against wearing their curly hair, which was very eye-opening, So, but for me, it's geared towards African American women because we've received the most discrimination as far as I know regarding wearing our naturally curly hair.
How was the experience of listening to the little girls or little women talk about how they get basically discriminated against all this of their natural hair?
Yeah, the initial conversation began with me putting on the board, I guess, like infographics of how to determine what their curl pattern was, and then also the porosity of their hair. So I started with all the education, and then it just one person shared their experience after I shared my experience of how I was discriminated against or how I was encouraged to straighten my hair. And before you knew it, it was like popcorn. All the girls started sharing. It became more of a forum and a safe space for them to share how they felt and for them to encourage each other in that space, to say, hey, look, I heard you. I know what you went through was traumatic, and I'm going to stand beside you as an ally to encourage you to stand in your truth and who you are and not feel like you have to change that for anyone. And so it was a great experience, and they've asked me to come back to do the same class again. And I also had different organizations like Curls had donated some hair care products. Target had donated some hair care products, basically for them to test different products on their hair to see what would work and what wouldn't work.
Okay. I have a hair question for you. Hair porosity.
Yeah.
How do you feel about people learning their hair porosity?
It's so funny. I first of all, I have to say thank you to you and the other women that have created the community on Facebook, the group, the 4ADC group. Like, it's amazing, and I'm so grateful for that platform where we can express our thoughts about our hair and how to deal with it, different techniques we can use. So as far as porosity, I've seen different reactions to that conversation. It's all about education, and you need to get educated. I don't think it's something that you need to depend on, but to have, so for instance, parents, when they're new parents, will read a book on parenting. And while you may read a book on parenting, it's not going to tell you everything you need to know about parenting. And experience is basically going to tell you. But in the beginning, it does help to have that guide, and eventually you don't need it anymore. So, so finding out your porosity, finding out your curl pattern in the beginning, it's necessary. But as you come to more knowledge about it, you really don't need it as much.
Exactly. And the group that she's talking about is Kingston Fine 4A, 4B, 4C Natural Hair.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that founded that group is Miss V. I'm one of the moderators on there, and it's an amazing group. It
Miss V, thank you.
Everything.
Yes.
So shout out to Miss V if you're listening to this podcast. Good job.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. And it's funny how I stumbled upon this is I was in Target and I was looking for I was basically looking for I'm sorry, I'm looking for her name because her name is not on the top of my brain right now. But I was in Target looking for can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, perfect. I was in Target looking for Shea Moisture's high porosity hair conditioner. And I was in there and I couldn't find it, and there was another woman who was in there named Carrie, and Carrie was basically taking a break from her twins, and I was lightweight taking a break from my child and looking for my hair product. And we were talking about Target not carrying that brand anymore, and then she invited me to the group, and that's how I wanted to be on the group. So big up to Carrie for sharing that with me. Wow, look at where it's gotten, where it's taken me.
Yes.
So I'm truly grateful for that. That lets you know that everything happens for a reason.
Yes. God's plan, right?
God's plan.
That's all right. Besides your t-shirts, what else do you what else is part of your brand? You got your music, you got your t-shirts, and what else?
Yeah, I got my t-shirts, and so I create these little videos. They're slightly comedic, or you might actually consider them very comedic, and they're retro. So if you look at my brand is the 70s. So in addition to my afro hair, it's not just an afro. I'm making sure I got off the big old hoops with the big old retro-looking earrings. I always have on my glasses and some kind of bell bottoms and some kind of 70s style outfit.
You bring us
back. I'm bringing you back. Back in the day when things just come.
Right.
Yeah, I'm bringing you back. So, and so I create these videos that kind of have a 70s aesthetic to it. And, they're funny. So that's a part of my branding as well. And then also my graphic design. So a lot of the things that I learned to do, I had to learn how to do in order to promote myself as an artist. I didn't have the money to pay someone to do a website. I didn't have the money to pay someone to do my graphics. I didn't have the money to pay someone to do my producing. Didn't have the money to pay somebody to, create my little videos. So I had to learn how to do it. And it's a blessing in disguise because you become savvy and you know how to do things,
Yeah. Where can they find these little funny videos of you? Please tell them.
Yeah. So the best place is Instagram, and my Instagram is Adisha Music. That's A as in apple, D as in door, E as in elephant, S as in share, H as in hair, A as in apple, music. So you can find my videos on Adisha Music on Instagram, and also Adisha Music on YouTube. Sometimes I'll post the Facebook, but Facebook needs to be loaded with information, so people have less energy to hop on unless they're on some engaging group, like the 4A, 4B, 4C group that we're on. So, and then I've been posting to our group as well, those videos.
And where's your group? Is it on Facebook?
I've been posting on the group, the 4A, 4B, 4C group, actually. Yes. The videos. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, all her links will be linked at the bottom. So if you missed any of the links that she shouts out, trust me, it will be at the bottom of the podcast. When you click on the link, you'll be able to go straight to all her sites with no problem, okay? Is there anything else you want the world to know about you?
Let's see. I think it's important to share that I am a wife and a mother, like I said earlier, and there are a lot of people who I feel like after they become a mom or even get married that they can't live their dreams. But I'm living proof it can be done. And that if you were meant to do something in this life, don't let any of the plan B that you have get in the way of your plan A. My friend Chantel shared that with me a while ago, and that's my mindset now. Don't let your plan B get in the way of your plan A. And so I'm constantly striving. I'm falling. I'm getting back up. But staying the course to make sure that my plan A comes to fruition. And that's basically using my gift, music, to heal the world, to make a difference, and to inspire others to live their dreams.
Okay. You heard it from her. You didn't hear it from me. You heard everything from her.
Yep.
You want to give us a little something before we, exit out?
Something. Let me see. No.
Before you say something, your music. When is one of your the single that's out?
So I have a single that I just released about a few months ago called Just Groove, and I like to consider it retro funk / postmodern disco funk, and it's one of them tracks that you can skate to. You can take to the roller skating rink and get your skate on. So yeah, Just Groove is my latest track.
And I'm glad you said that, because as soon as I heard that music, I was in my room and I was dancing. I was acting like I was skating, moving to the groove. I said, "Oh, this is it."
That's exactly what I want y'all to feel. Yes.
Just Groove. I know that's right.
Just Groove.
Now,
yep.
Go ahead and hit us with something, a little something, little something.
Sure. Okay. So I'm trying to get over it, so if it doesn't come out right, just bear with me. So let's see. Then that's gotcha again. Then that's not your loose. So the Bible says, and it's still in the news. Well, your mama may have, and your papa may have, but God bless the child that God is all. That's got his own.
You trying to have church in here? You about to have me start getting up and start shouting? Start praising him. I was about to get up and start two-stepping, praising him. Oh, that's right.
Amen and amen. The funny thing is that song, I don't think, because of church, I think that because of Billie Holiday. She sang that song. She's one of my inspirations. So people be like, "Oh, you take to church?" I'll be like, "Actually, I wasn't thinking about it like that. I'll take you to Billie."
Oh, but it was beautiful though. I felt church. That's the first thing I was about to get up and start shouting.
Hey, ma'am.
Is there anything else that you want before we bounce?
No, I think that's it. I mean, I'm just grateful to you. I actually wanted to find out from you, like, why the podcast, and, I'm sure you share that all the time, but, I mean, can you give us a recap?
The reason why I decided to do a podcast because of people like you, okay? I wanted to be able to communicate with hair, the culture, and the music, because all of that is in one. Okay, all of it's in one. And you see how you basically started off with your parents and you learning the music for them, and then the whole European way of doing hair, and then you chopped your hair off, and you was like, I'm free. I am free. And most people don't realize that because I used to be relaxed too, okay, and I used to be relaxed for a long time, and I had real long, luxurious hair. And the problem was with me was, it's not that my hair broke off or anything. I didn't have that problem. But the problem that I didn't have a problem. What I wanted was to figure out how my natural hair was. And I said, well, let me try it. And by me trying that, I just fell in love with it. And I said, all this time I was perming my hair, making my hair look this way, when the hair that was coming out my scalp was just fine. So in this picture that I had to look this way. I had to be beautiful. Only way to be beautiful for you and your hair to look amazing is to have a perm. And that was the whole thing that made me decide, you know what? This is not me. This is not me. I have more to offer than this picture in front of me. So I went natural, and I love it ever since. And I said, I want everybody to be able to tell their story. Because you could give the history about hair and everything, all the knowledge and stuff. But it's always good to hear how someone started. What inspired them? Was it music? Was it the culture? What was it that inspired you just to go back to your roots and say, you know what? This is me. This is what defined me. My kinks, my coils. This is what defines me. So I was like, you know what? If I get everybody to share their story, I'm doing something. Besides giving a little knowledge and a little music here and there. But to share their story, I have done something. And I appreciate you taking your time out of your day for this interview.
Of course, Candy. When you presented me with the opportunity, I was like, I'm all over it. Let's sit down, let's have some tea, and let's talk.
Yes, let's talk. Let's hear talk, music, coaching, everything. Everything. Well, I appreciate you. And guys, again, I'm going to leave her link at the bottom of this episode. If you have any other questions, I will have her email. So you can email her too if you want to direct contact with her. I will list all her information that she will allow you to contact her on. So that way you get to know her. She's amazing. She's dope. Her music, you already heard her sing. Okay? You heard her sing. She brought us to church. Okay? So I'm not just hyping her up. You already heard her. But at the end of this episode, I will play her music, Just Groove, okay? A little something. I can't give it all to you because you will have to click on Spotify to get the rest, okay? So I'm going to give you a taste of it at the end of this episode. But remember, tune in next week, and you never know who we're going to have. As always, we care for the hair and the culture. Again, I will leave all her links and the Kinky Care Culture podcast at the end. Y'all be blessed. You want to say anything else before we go?
You know, I just thought about it. If anybody's interested in the Radio Crown t-shirts, you can go to www.510brand.com and look under the Adisha line. Just type in ADESHA in the search bar, and you get the link for Radio Crown.
Okay, say that website one more time. Even though it's at the bottom, it's going to be linked at the bottom. Say it one more time.
No worries. www.brand.com.
All right. Thank y'all. Bye. Be blessed. Thank you.
Peace, blessings, y'all. Later.
I want to take the time out to thank each and every one of you for listening to the Kinky Care Culture podcast, Wear Your Crown, featuring Miss Adisha. She's an amazing and phenomenal woman. She's a singer, songwriter, has her own clothing line. The list goes on. We are truly grateful. Like I stated before, I will leave all her links at the bottom so that way you could personally click on them, get to know Miss Adisha, maybe set up interviews with her, have her sing for you. List goes on. Email her. Y'all know. As well as I will do the same. I will leave all my links at the bottom too, so that way y'all can be able to keep in contact and see what's going on with the Kinky Care Culture podcast. And if you like to be featured in any of our episodes, you want us to interview you, you want to get your brand, your business out there, we are truly, truly blessed, and we'll be grateful to have you out and help to get your brand out. Also, without further ado, like I said, I will leave a sample of her music, her new single, Just Groove. Yes, I'll give you a little something. I can't give you all of it, but I can give you a little something to jam to. As always, we care for the hair and the culture. God bless. Let God continue to bless over each and every one of y'all. Success. The key to success is don't give up. Stay focused. And do yourself a vision board. As always, we care for the hair and the culture. Bye.
I can feel it when it's streaming, when it's playing on my radio. Turn it up inside my headphones. I cannot resist. Press repeat, set on my playlist. While the chord changes on fire, melodies got me inspired. When it's good, let it move you like it should. Don't be afraid